Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy BurstCG back here, and today I am back with something a little bit different. Interestingly enough, I was given a free key for Babylon's Fall by Square Enix, so I would like to just take a quick moment and say thank you again, Square Enix, for allowing me to receive a key and see what this game is all about. I do have some interesting things to say about it, and also, you know, I'm gonna be a little bit transparent. I'm gonna be me, and I'm still gonna give a full review about it. But yeah, I would like to just say again, thank you for allowing me to get a key, play this game. That was pretty much an interesting moment for me, as I've never gotten that experience before, so thank you. And moving on, before I just start, I wanted to know, just from players that have touched the game, how do you feel about it? How has your experience been? Definitely let me know down in the comments below. I'll favorite or pin the best comment if there is one. And yeah, let's move straight into it. One of the most interesting things when it comes to Babylon's Fall is definitely a little bit of the combat, as well as the gear and the weapons. So first off, I have to say the weapons probably will keep you more intrigued when you're playing this, because there's different ways you can manage your weapons, and with the game potentially getting different types of weapons in the future, there will always be a little bit of a different way to play the game, especially depending on what kind of character you chose, I believe, and how you want to go about that. But specifically, now you have the spectral attacks, which are on your L2, R2 triggers. I'm playing on the PS5, so if you're playing on PC or Xbox, whatever the equivalent of those spectral attacks controls for you are, then that's what it is. But yeah, there's different ways you can rearrange your weapons into doing different things. You can put a sword on a basic square triangle, and it's just going to do its normal thing, you know, do a combo. If you put on the spectral, it's going to change the way that sword functions, and it's actually going to make energy swords and move them in different ways. And you can see that on the back of your character, you have 4 different weapons that are available, and you know, you're able to do different types of things with those weapons. And now if you have a wand, you can throw a nice little energy ball. You can also charge it up, and it does different types of things depending on what the enchantments are to it. You have a hammer that slams down on your opponent. There's also like I want to say a staff, rod, and that one, depending on whatever the enchantments are, changes what it can do, I believe. So it depends also where you place those. Now they have a shield that also can change what you do. You can just normally block stuff, or I think I've seen people online make a barrier, so you could be really good with defending your team, you know, all that good stuff. There's different ways to play this game and different ways to enjoy the game for yourself. The gear, however, is a little bit interesting. I mean, I'm not too fancied on it currently. I'm not really sure where they're trying to take the system in terms of raising your level up. You know, there's weapons that might have this enchantment or that enchantment that you want to keep. However, you might not be able to keep those forever, right? I haven't seen a current way to kind of keep that and progress with those. It looks like you just, when you get a stronger one, you take that, and if it messes your stats up, you might not want to take it, and you just kind of go with the flow. But I'm sure along the future of the game, and as you progress, there might be different ways to get specifically what you're looking for. Now, also, I'll throw in this little bit here. The game does have some login bonuses, so at least you're getting some free stuff on the daily. I will mention here as well, Babylon's Fall, the first battle pass is free, the premium part. So you can basically get 2 sets of rewards from the regular and the premium for free. You don't have to pay for anything, it's just there when you log in. And let's see, I'll talk about the online experience. Now, there are some good and bad things, but on the good side, it's pretty seamless in terms of playing with friends. And when you play with friends online, the mission is, I gotta say, pretty smooth. I haven't had any lag, delays, or people dropping out, nothing like that. I've been able to play pretty seamlessly with anybody on these different platforms, as the game does have crossplay. So that definitely makes the game a lot more enjoyable, because if I want to say, hey, you want to boot up the game, let's go, you know, we can just hop right into a mission and pretty much play the mission with no real problems. Not any bugs really that I've noticed in terms of that. So definitely good on Platinum Games for being able to push that out, because there's a lot of games that have issues with that. But I will say Platinum Games, when it comes to one of the other aspects in terms of playing with players, there is something I think they need to work out in the future, and hopefully that will happen, but we'll talk about that a little later. And yeah, so that's pretty much what that has there. And I'll also mention, if you're still new and you're kind of like struggling a little bit, definitely take a look at the help tab. There's so much information there, and it helps a ton. Like, believe me, there's still a lot that I would like to learn about the game, and everything is listed there. Learning about where this is and where that's going to be, where these different types of game modes are, and how to get this and how to craft that. It's all there. So you definitely be able to just piggyback off of that whenever you need to. You don't have to feel confused, and if you do, it's right there for you. It's not any lost information. So now let's get a little bit into my concerns for the game and some of the problems I had playing it. And yeah, I don't want to make it too bad, but you know, there are some things I hope that Platinum Games works out in the future or changes. But yeah, we'll get right into it. One of the things that I've heard a lot of problems with is its art style, and I know that that's probably a minor complaint in amongst some of the other ones that I would say there are, but I do think that first impressions, you know, some people looking at the game's art style might be really turned off. In the world, when you're actually fighting and doing the missions, it doesn't look too bad. It's just some of the cutscenes and some of the more idle animations make it look more just hard to look at, I would say. It's a very different type of art style. I've heard that it's supposed to be more like watercolor painting type of thing, and you can tell depending on where you look, but it's definitely subjective. You know, if you like it, you don't like it, it's understandable. Also, this is gonna scale a little bit and be different for everybody, but I will say the story doesn't really engage me as much in the game. I haven't felt necessarily tied to understanding what the heck is going on. I've been more entrapped wanting to get into the gameplay, understanding how I can make different combos, how I can make my gear better, where I can improve and do all my missions. That's really what is driving me to keep playing, as well as being able to hop online with my friends. That's the most interesting part of this for me, and it might be different for everybody else, but if you definitely feel the same, let me know. I'd like to see if anybody has the same thoughts, because every game, you know, has its way of keeping players enticed. In some games that's story, in some games that's multiplayer, and some games that's just doing whatever, right? And for this game, it just happens to be that I like the combat more than anything. But yeah, the next thing, and this comes into the online stuff, is region lock. So while there is crossplay, there's not cross-region play. So you can play cross-play with a PC player, but if they're in the UK, you can't play with them. You can't even find them in the game when you search their name, which is unfortunate, because while Platinum Games has been successful in having a nice seamless experience with crossplay, they missed it by, you know, separating different regions in terms of playability, and that makes it harder to play with friends you have from different places in the world, right? And I do hope that that's something that they take into consideration in the future and change, if so possible, because that will make this game last a lot longer, and a lot more players will be able to enjoy times with their friends who are not in the same areas as them. That was one issue that I had when trying to play with Stardust. Check him out. He's an awesome YouTuber, makes TikToks, all that. I'll put it down in the description if you want to check him out. Also, check out High Ruler, amazing content creator. He had a nice stream the other night, and he's always streaming, so check him out. And yeah, I'll link all their stuff down below as we played this game on stream together. So yeah, but yeah, it definitely made it hard trying to play, and it's a little bit frustrating, because if you don't like the game and you're really just playing with your friends, like that's the only reason that drives you to play the game, you're immediately turned off, which understandably Stardust was kind of turned off at that point when we couldn't play together, because he didn't really like the game, from what I understand. And playing with us would have probably made the experience a lot better, but because he couldn't, understandably so, he was not interested anymore at that point. And I think that's going to be a feeling a lot of people have if they can't play with their friends. So that is probably one of the most biggest things they will have to look at in the future, as currently that is what I would assume one of the bigger issues people will have with playing with their friends. The other thing is the quest system. Now, trying to play with your friends online, there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through just to go and join somebody's party, right? First, you have to either be the host designee or whatever. But if you're the host, you need to go make the party mission, invite whoever it is. That person has to go walk over to go to the mission board, select party quest, join the party quest, wait to enter the party quest, and then they're in. As opposed to just being able to invite a friend into a lobby, which you can do, and them automatically joining your mission. Very strange that that's not something already in the works or in place, because the fact that you can join a person's world, or lobby I should say, and not already join their missions automatically is weird, unless that's a bug in the game currently. That's one of the other issues that I noticed, and kind of a thing I feel needs to be a little bit of a quality of life update just to kind of minimize that, because there are 2 quest boards and I'm not really sure why. There's one in another area far to the left of the map, and there's one in the middle. So unless there's something specifically there that we're missing, it just seems like it's unnecessary to have 2 of them. Unless they're tied to the story or something at some point, which I have not seen. But yeah, that's something I think that need to look into. The matchmaking overall, if you're just looking to play with randoms, that one is a little bit iffy. I know that the Steam numbers are a little bit low on the game. I'm not sure what the PlayStation and other platforms are looking like, but it does seem to take a long time to at least find one person to join a random mission. And that's a little unfortunate, because a lot of these missions feel like they're supposed to be played with 4 people no matter what. And I understand that you can play them solo. However, the experience of playing them multiplayer makes it a lot better. For example, there's a boss fight that I can't imagine soloing at that point, because I'm not dealing enough damage myself, along with the fact that the mechanics in there, you probably want to have more than just yourself, right? So getting more than just 2 people, getting the whole squad 4 people would be nice, but we'll have to see if they improve on the matchmaking and however that works in the back end of their game, or if it's just a player problem. We'll have to see. And lastly, they do have a roadmap, and interestingly enough, it's only for the next 3 months, but I do think that that's pretty good to come out with a roadmap for your game and kind of just show what are we planning to give you guys in the future. So obviously at launch they gave us the free battle pass. I think that's pretty fair. You get to experience the game, free battle pass, and get all these different items in there if you so wish to. March 7th, version 1.0.1, they're gonna have duels, and hopefully I'm still around and able to check that out, as this is happening pretty much on March 7th, which is the day this video is coming out. So I will try to check that out if I can. And March 22nd, they're gonna have a large scale update. So this is where I mentioned the weapons, right? They're gonna have a new weapon type, which is the Labris, and I'm not sure exactly what it does yet, but it is gonna be interesting to see, because I tell you, the weapons in the game, as long as they keep adding different weapon types and different enchantments and different ways to utilize these weapons, the game will be fun in terms of combat. All right, it will always have a different spin on it, because you can be so versatile with your builds. They're also going to have a new faction, Molzamite. They're going to have a new feature, Refine, more story called Resurgence, another game mode called Gauntlet, and new bosses, quests, and weapons, armor, and cosmetic items. Cosmetic items are going to be, I expect to see them kind of push that a lot forward sooner than later, to be honest. March 29th, they're going to have a Nier Ultima collaboration. They also developed that game, Platinum Games, so if you weren't aware, it makes sense. At April 26th, they're going to have more additional story. That's kind of a little bit going off of what March 22nd is going to have, so they're going to probably keep enhancing and continuing some of that story. And they're going to have their first limited time event. And yeah, that's pretty much all they have so far. It only goes up to May 31st. This roadmap obviously is subject to change, so if anything gets added, I will hopefully make a video about it. But with that, I think the game has a pretty decent future. I don't see it lasting as a full-priced game for that long. The reason why I say is because with what you get and in the interest of it, I don't think you would feel comfortable paying $60 USD for this game. And it's not to say that the game is bad or horrible. I just think that for what you will want to play the game and what you'll use, you will not be utilizing the whole game's features. You'll be wanting to play it mostly probably with your friends in these story missions and eventually these other types of game modes that are going to be coming. And you really will play it maybe here or there. I don't see it as a game that people are going to stick to for long term unless the game maybe goes free to play. And you know, a lot of the times these games by Square Enix might be a little bit overpriced. I know that's a conversation with Forspoken right now, as is this really worth it for the single player solo experience? And you look at a game like Babylon's Fall, which it does have co-op and it does have story and all this stuff, but is it really worth the $60? Are you really going to be invested enough that you feel your $60 is worth it? And I have to say, probably not. You might feel more enticed to play a free game that banks more on the battle pass and cosmetics whole drive, right? That seems where a lot of games like to go, is free to play at some point and let you have options to buy cosmetics and etc, etc, etc. Now, to my understanding, I haven't seen that these updates will be paid, so it looks like these are going to be free updates as well. If I'm wrong on that, I will double check, but as far as I know, looks like these are free collaborations and free updates. But yeah, I think the game has a decent future. Platinum Games is not new entirely, but they're not necessarily super old. Looks like they started about in 2016, so you know, their future is still pretty bright. And I think that if Square Enix is gonna have a good relationship with them, it should work out. And if they can get the game, you know, ground running and keep up all these updates and also get that region lock out the way, I think the game has a good future for it. But yeah, I enjoy it to a degree. I like playing it. I like the solo experience playing some of these missions, and I like the customization of the weapons, and I like to play with some friends. I personally enjoy that aspect of it. But yeah, if you guys enjoy it, let me know. I'd love to know. And yeah, again, thank you Square Enix for allowing me to get a free key for this game, give it a little bit of a review. It's definitely a different type of game than I played, so I'm happy to try out new stuff. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I try not to make it too long, but this is my first ever like official review for a free game that I've gotten to kind of, you know, give an overview of. And I hope you guys enjoy this type of video, so let me know down below. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.